An honor to be with all of you fellow entrepreneurs. So I thought we'd just take a moment and take a few deep breaths and just ground ourselves. Just open up our spine. Allow our presence to come here fully. We have lots of stuff happening in the world, all over the place. So if we could just close our eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and exhale fully, and just bring your whole presence, your awareness, and your A game in attention here. I want you to take a moment and feel all the movement that's going on in your personal life, as well as your business life that's swirling within your being. Just attune to it. Don't do anything with it. Just become aware. The energy in your mind, your thoughts, energy in your body. Just accept it all. Many of you are going to go through some major and are in major transition times in your life. So just feel that. Feel the precipice of big change, huge possibility, transformation and freedom in your life. And if you'd like to really drop in and make the best of the next years of your life in a state of more freedom, just go ahead and take 3 deep breaths and make that your intention and your affirmation today, to be fully present and alive. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, how many of you would like to live a life of real profound freedom with your families, your life, your health, your well-being, your energy, to be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want to do it? Just curious. How many want to have a whole other level of exhilaration, a whole other level of really more deep fulfillment in being as you grow through the success ladder of life? So, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since I've been a child. My whole father's lineage are all entrepreneurs going back many, many years. Big industries in Africa. My grandfather came from India to Africa, settled there. My father was born there. I was born there. And the Raja family, that's my surname, had many, many businesses. And then when we moved to England, we fled this whole Idi Amin. Those of you who might not know that era, there was a dictator in Uganda, and we left that, and then we came to Canada. And I saw my parents, who are just amazing entrepreneurs, leaders, awesome people, just go through a lot of struggle, a lot of challenges. I've seen the heights of business booming and the joy that brings, but also the challenges that brings. And I've seen also the challenges of when business is in a slump, and there's challenges on that level, and what happens to the family and all of that stuff. You have a lot of wisdom and expertise with Brian, Daniel, and all the other advisors and people you have in your life. Today, I wanted to take the time to really share about the inner aspect of what exiting means. The challenges, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual challenges. And my goal with this is to support you, to arm you, to give you wisdom from my learnings, wisdom from things that I have seen in challenging ways in organizations, in families that I've served. I've been leading a mastermind of entrepreneurs, business leaders now for 12 years. And some of them had very successful exits, very, very successful 10-figure exits, and you name it. And some of the things I'm going to share with you today, I've identified 6 dimensions of being, 6 dimensions or challenges that we need to be really aware of. And so this is not going to be a light, just inspirational talk. The goal is I want you to have some sobriety as you come into more freedom, more wealth, more opportunity, more creativity, more empowerment. It's really wise to become wiser. How many can get what I'm saying here? You see, it's not just how much money you have. It's shown that people who have given or have received a great amount of money can lose it very quickly. And that's because of the internal terrain in their mindset. That's because they have a barometer, a ceiling within their own being. So I'm going to take this time today. I'm going to go through the 6 that I've identified are the ones that can really bring attention. As I'm speaking about these, please make a note of which one grabs you the most, which one is most pertinent to you, which one is most gripping emotionally, the one that you might worry about internally, or that you're already starting to worry about or you're facing or feeling. Because at the end, after I've gone through sharing the ones that I feel are really valuable for you to raise your emotional and your wisdom IQ, then we're going to do a process. I'm going to take you through an inner guided experience to take the challenge, the one that you've got the most inner challenge, inner tension, inner fear, inner contraction, and we're going to open it up, we're going to expand it, and instead of it becoming a problem, we're going to turn it into an opportunity. How many are ready for that today? Okay, awesome. So having said that, I'm here at your service. As an entrepreneur, this is my life. I've been an entrepreneur since young, as I've shared. My mother's side is all the Gandhi family, Mahatma Gandhi, for real. And so they're all social servants, humanitarians. They learned about the deeper meaning of life rather than just wealth accumulation. My father's side, great business people, but there was a lot of cacophony, craziness, loud energy, wild. My mother's side are very peaceful, calming. So I was able to integrate these sides. And I recognize wealth without soul sucks. Wealth, freedom without soul and spirit and good family dynamics, good love, good health, good well-being, it means nothing. Money only magnifies the inherent unconsciousness that you have. If you're an asshole, you'll be worse. If you have a beautiful side within you, it'll grow. If you have the desire to make more, to be more in service from the place that you are at in life, it's really a good start. So let's start off with the very beginning. The inner dangers of sudden wealth for founders selling their business or post-exit. So myself, I'm an advisor, mentor, success partner to founders, CEOs, family offices. I've been a founder, multiple companies. I invest in companies, specifically ones that have positive impact. That's an interest to me. And I'm an author of, now 5 books. So anyone would like one of my books called Transcendent CEO, see me at one of the breaks and I'll make sure you get one as my gift, okay? So having said that, the first challenge that we have, the danger of sudden wealth, is the anticlimax crash, when success feels like a letdown. And I've seen it over and over again. Someone sells their business for whatever millions of dollars, doesn't feel the joy for even 5 minutes. It's not celebration, it's confusion. This is bizarre. I've led a handful of my CEOs through exits, and it's amazing how energetically, emotionally, it can be anticlimactic. Because now when that happens, all of a sudden, you've got all these 100 things to think about. CPAs, organizing, what I got to do here, what I got to do here, how I got to manage this, who's coming after me, what do I need to do, how do I need to solidify myself. So yes, we have financial freedom, but the system, your psychological nervous system, wasn't built to handle this level of change. The psyche expected fireworks, but instead it gets a different energy, it gets silence within. And that can be a shock. So it's really valuable now to just stay centered as you go through wherever you are at, going through a transition, going through an exit, and then all of a sudden, bam, the check hits, you're like, that's where you get to see who you are. That's where you get to see what do you value. And that's where you need to drop into your value deeper. Don't let your ego go run mad. That's important, okay? Next one, many experience post-exit depression. Why? Because success without soul and preparation is hollow. So if you're not investing in your soul, your happiness, your joy now, why do you think you're going to make it and invest in that later? If you're not investing in your inner freedom, your inner well-being, your health, your vitality, your strength, then it's only going to get worse. So it's really, really valuable that you recognize that cultivate the soul. so that the money that comes is resting in something of value, not superficial. When your nervous system, relationships, and inner life aren't ready, wealth becomes a trigger, not a triumph. That's bizarre. It becomes a trigger. It triggers all the unconscious patterns and fears of lack that you have within you. And all of a sudden you think you have enough, but now there's this tension and fear because you've got the conditioning of the lack mind, and then you've got this new wealth. They're going to be in conflict. So that needs to be addressed. How many can get the sense of that? Okay, awesome. So that's number one, okay? The Anticlimax Crash. Prepare for it, be wise, and then here's the second one. The identity crisis. Who am I without the title? Perhaps for decades, some of you, you've been the founder, the CEO, the builder. Then one day, it's over. The business is sold, the emails stop, the urgency dies. Who are you now? Who are you now? Who are you now with this big identity that you developed? I ran martial arts schools in my earlier years. That's my first exit. And it's still going. I started that in 1986. I sold it. The black belts who took it over are still running it, are spreading it. It's booming. And I'm so proud of them, right? So proud of them. But the moment I let go, I was a kung fu teacher, a master, a 5th degree black belt. I had all these students. And then when I sold it, I moved to British Columbia, the opposite side of the country. This was in Toronto area. Now I live in British Columbia on the other side. And all of a sudden, I didn't have all that around me. Students, friends, people revering me, people going, wow, such a great leader you are. I was just me in the woods, in my home, beautiful home I bought, beautiful space we had, acres and the dream home and everything you can think of. And then all of a sudden, I was feeling, holy shit, who am I? I felt purposeless. And within ourselves, the energy, whenever we feel purposelessness, regardless of how much we have, that can deteriorate and that can take us down through some really dark, bullshitty holes. Who knows what I'm talking about? We've seen people with great wealth go down some really dark tunnels because they didn't create a new identity. Their identity was all wrapped up in that leadership. How many of this is touching someone? You get what I'm talking about, right? So you got to say, listen, I am beyond my identity as this business leader. I am beyond the identity of this role. Who am I that's deeper, more valuable, more powerful? Who am I now? And if you don't ask that question and generate and create that, by default, your ego and the world will tell you who to be. Your mom, your unconscious mom and dad, whether they're living or not, they're going to be speaking to you. They're going to, and in your subconscious mind, well, you should do this, you should be this. Your uncles, your aunts, your society, they're all going to start programming you. Welcome. They're all going to start programming you and go, holy shit, you should be this, you should be that, you should act like this, you should be that. You got to drop all that. You got to say thank you, get away, don't just splurge on your well-being. Get away from all the noise, take time to meditate, go in nature, be with God, be with Spirit, and then come into prayer, however that is for all of you. Get into real sacred prayer of what is my life now? Who is my identity now? Who do I want to be? Wealth can make you, as I shared, exaggerate and exasperate the inner asshole or the inner saint and sage. You have a choice. You have a choice. Okay? Most founders don't realize their identity was overcoupled with their role. When the role vanishes, so does their sense of self. This isn't just ego, it's an identity death. And without preparation, it becomes a spiritual amputation. So one of the things that I've worked with myself and the leaders that I've served who've exited, is I get them to go into a retreat. I get them to dive in. Who am I now? What's the life I wish to generate? What's my identity now? And when you really craft that new identity, then guess what? Your wealth goes up. Your ingenuity goes up. Your creativity goes up. The next opportunities just start coming to you. But if you're still stuck in the old, you're screwed. So be aware. Okay, the third one. Family fracture or family unity. Fracture or unity. What happens when the money hits? And I just shared this. Money magnifies everything. If you've got deep love in your relationship, it's going to magnify it. If you've got resentments, it's going to magnify it. Money is a force of magnification. It's neutral. In itself, it's not positive or negative. Just like a knife, you can use it to cut, fire, you can use it to warm things, or you can use it to burn. The same way, money is neutral. And so, here's the things we got to look at. We got to look at, are we holding secrets? Do we have unconscious shit in ourselves regarding power? Do we have our ego that feels I need to be powerful over others? Do we need to heal our ego? Perhaps our whole business was based on our ego. And then all of a sudden we've got the goal and the ego is satisfied and your soul is empty and you're like, holy shit, it's still not what I want. So if that sense of inner power is not fulfilled, then they'll keep seeking it elsewhere. If family unity isn't forged beforehand, the liquidity event can turn into an emotional and legal disaster. With my family, I brought them all together in both my exits and I said, listen, we're going to be coming into a level of freedom, Mom and I, where you're going to be able to study, we're going to be able to travel, we're going to do all types of things around the world. And, we've taken our children literally, like on our backpacks, everywhere, literally everywhere around the world. When we exited, it just happened to be coinciding with school and all of this. We decided to homeschool them. We had nanny and we had some support systems and all of that, but we traveled the world with them and we had the most exhilarating time of our lives because we said we want to invest in our family. What is it worth if it's not investing in your family and giving them the experiences and building the bonds, forging the bonds that they remember for a lifetime? How many could use more of that in their lives? Especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're giving it your all. So much of your energy is in the entrepreneurship, in the leadership, in the running the company. And most of us probably don't realize, like I realized pretty late, that my family was starving for me. My wife was starving for my attention. My kids were starving for my attention. And I didn't realize the type of behaviors they were doing that seemed like, shit, get your ass together, kids. They were doing it to get my dad's attention. And I sobered up to that. And so I realized, okay, the first thing I'm going to invest in on the exit is my family. Let's make sure that they're well loved, well taken care of. All the time that perhaps I've been investing in other places, let me invest it back in them. That family unity is priceless. In this day and age where everything is attacking family unit, wants to tear it apart, wants us to just have our ego run and not take care of the vital things in life, please, my entrepreneurial friends, put your family first. If you're single, if you're not in a relationship, make that valuable to you. If you have partners, how many have partners in family? Start upping your investment in that. Start now. Don't wait till the end. Don't wait till you come through the other side. Any questions, shares about anything so far? Questions, shares, or any expressions?
It's very relatable.
Yeah. Anyone relate to any of this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And by the way, get this strong. Because when money comes, it's not just your ego on the line, it's everyone's ego gets flared up around you. Because they see there's more. And their darkest side comes out and their best side. You got to be able to navigate that. With your family, you almost got to find a way to be spiritually strong, to hold the vessel of the abundance. If you're not spiritually strong, the abundance goes. It just goes. Okay? It leaks. Okay, number 4. The legacy abyss. What story are you really writing? You made the money, now what? What's your story now? What does your wealth actually serve? Legacy isn't just philanthropy, it's living narrative that shapes generations. Without clarity, children become lost in entitlement. We've seen this a lot, right? Entitled rich kids. You know, there's so many shows and critique about enlightened rich kids. I had to deal with that with mine. Look at dad, look at mom, look at this. We got BMWs, we live in the country, we got a big home, blah, blah, blah. They're telling other, and I'm like, no. Yes, we are privileged to have this success from hard work, children. Hard damn work for years. And now what we need to do is, how can you serve? How can you serve the world? What's your passion? My kids all volunteer. We all serve in many different ways. And that keeps us humble. Really, really valuable. What's the legacy you're leaving? Third generation loss is real. You do well, the kids get entitled, or they don't know how to deal with money. They weren't the ones that built the wealth, so they're the ones that spend it. And then by this third generation, you've got all these rich young people who are screwed up. I've seen this over and over again. That's one of the number one things very successful business leaders come and say, listen, my family dynamics. I'm good here, but my family is really screwed. Can you help me out? So I do family work where they all come or I come and I dive in with my wife and I and we work on that. And what's the sobering thing about this is when you clean this part up, that ego in the youth, and you help them understand the wisdom of wealth, what it means, when you help them understand that we need to become more humble, not more arrogant. We need to be more in a position of service, not more in a position of macho strength and conquering. Then we develop sane wealth. We develop wholesome success. And then we start to teach them and train them how to grow wealth in a way that's aligned with their soul, heart, spirit, and contribution. And this is the proper stewardship to cultivate in them. Okay? The next one. By the way, is this sobering? Anyone you guys a little sobering? Anyone get a little sobering here? That was the purpose. I didn't want to, I was feeling, I could share with you many things on mindset and inspiration, all that, but I wanted to make it really valuable for you guys, directly for this room. So it's not just general. I wanted to really serve you because I am in your position. I'm also a lifetime entrepreneur. I buy businesses, I build them, I sell them, I help advise, and you name it. And so I'm still in the game. But I'm way different on how I was in the game when I was younger. And I got to tell you now I'm happy. Before I was chasing dollars as a younger man, and I thought that would bring me happiness. It doesn't. Now I create wealth for the purpose of my family and to make a positive impact. And that shift has shifted everything. Okay? The body and spirit breakdown. Are you even ready to receive the joy? You've dreamed of freedom, you've earned it, but can your body, can your neurology receive it? Can your nervous system receive it? Or will it reject it? Will it try to sell it out? If you in your unconscious mind have a againstness around being prominent or being powerful, if you don't want to be seen as powerful, or there's some fear, or earlier in life, let's say, for example, you grew up that power was bad. People in power, money positions are bad, and some of them are. They're not always wholesome, not always enlightened, right? And so if we've got those imprints, guess what happens in our system? We can only take so much wealth in before we got to spend it, and then we run and wonder, how come there's so much money that's come in? Where the hell did it go? Anyone ever had that problem in their life? All right? The reason that's there is at a subconscious level, at a deep subconscious level, there's a resistance to becoming in your full power. There's a fear of power. Because in this day, in this world, money equals power. It's not the only power, but money is the power. It's huge power. And so if you don't want that power, even though your mind, your conscious mind, which is only about 10% of what's operating, 90% is like an iceberg underneath you, underneath that conscious mind, which means you're more run by the unconscious mind than you are by your conscious mind, no matter how sharp and brilliant you are. So you've got to go below and you got to say, you know what? I need to learn to open my heart and open my body to receive this money. Open my neurology, my nervous system, not only to receive, but to be a conduit of greater and growing, expanding wealth. You change your system from a consumer to a creator. From a purchaser, from a buyer to a steward. A steward of wealth. We all know this. Every spiritual teacher on the planet has told us we're dead. One day we all pass. How do we steward the gifts that we've been given? Prepare for that. Prepare your mind, your body, your spirit. The cortisol, the grind, when you keep going and all of a sudden it's like, your body might go, holy shit, what am I to do? And you get anxious and you try to do things and then sometimes you self-sabotage. Who's heard of that? You self-sabotage because there's a part of you that's resisting that. So we've got to get that in line, your body and spirit, to be able to be a good vessel of reception, and that your integrity and your soul now shifts identity from entrepreneur to steward entrepreneur. Stewarding. Tending. You know the story in the Bible of, this is told in all cultures around the world, where the rich king father gives different sons a task. What will you do with this money? One spends it all, one gives it back the same, and one multiplies it. The difference is in their inner being. One was stuck in the past, one kept it neutral, and the other one shifted their ability to receive that and say, let's magnify that. How many want to be in that camp? That's what it's about. Okay, and here's the last one. The chaos of the cash influx. Are you ready for the storm? The money lands, and so do the sharks. When the money landed twice in my accounts and in the CEOs that I've happened to serve, beauty happens and bullshit comes. Everyone wants a piece of you. They want a piece of you. Everyone has a plan. Everyone's going to knock on you. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. Can you help me with that? Can you help me with this? You're going to get pulled on, rattled on, and then your heartstrings are going to get pulled. Who do I help? Who do I not help? All of this internal shit goes on. Who knows what I'm talking about? Prepare for it. Prepare for light and shadow. Prepare for light and prepare for shadow. You're going to see people's manipulations on you. You're going to see people trying to screw you emotionally or try to hit you up. You know, you really owed me this. I did all this for you 20 years ago and you really owe me now. Well, why didn't you tell me over the last 20 years? I'm happy to have balanced it out. So unfortunately, this is the side. This is why we take the time to galvanize ourselves, to be ready for the awesome opportunity. We need to learn to cultivate let go of noise and replace it with clarity. Decisions become reactive. Children ask, are we rich now? Friend shift, pressure mounts. So without a pre-sale inner foundation, the storm consumes you, or you rise as a lighthouse. So those are the 6. I want you to take a moment. I'm going to review these, and I want you to take a look at which ones are the ones that most concern you. Okay? The Anticlimax Crash. Is it the identity crisis? Who am I? Is it the family fracture? What happens when the money hits? Is it the legacy? Where am I now? What's my new story? What's my life I shall live? The ability to receive deeply and become a steward. And then the chaos of the cash influx. Are you ready for the storm? So let's open it up now for any shares, questions, expressions, anything you'd like to bring up.
I connect with the identity one. That's the one that always worried me the most. Is what's next? Like that's the one that hits me because like I've lived in that life for so long, and so I've been asked that question like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure that out, won't I?" And like that's the one that probably worries me the most.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. By starting to cultivate, who am I now? Don't wait until you cross. Because now the energy's there and there's a cacophony and influx of energy. Who am I going to be now? And a couple of things to look at, okay? There's different wheels of life. I'm going to give you mine. Faith, I call them the 5 freedoms. Faith, and there's no notes on this, so you can write it down if you want. Faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. Faith is your spiritual connection. Cultivate it. Get it strong. Doesn't matter what you believe in. It's the fact that you have that faith that anchors you into something beyond this world. It anchors you into goodness. It anchors you and it keeps your ego under control when you cultivate faith. And you recognize, you know what? There's a higher source and I'm in service to that higher source. Very, very valuable. Okay? Faith. Family. What's the family I wish to live? What's my new identity with my family? Do I want to be a distant father? Which I was. I was a distant father earlier in my life. And in the teenage years, for my kids, my daughter especially, it was really rough. And I was always on the road. I was a rock star in the world, running companies, running this, doing that. And my daughter just started hating me. And there's no matter what the hell I could try to do. Let's go out, honey. Let's do this, let's do that. And I was like, no. And my wife says, look, you're so loving. You're a loving husband. You're a loving father. But fuck, our family needs your time. They need your undivided presence. And it wasn't until I almost drowned. I was leading an event in Hawaii. And it's a crazy scene. I was in the ocean and I was in my ego and I was challenging my other brothers. Hey, let's go out further and let's go in this crazy area. And some waves took me and I got smashed against this volcanic rock over and over. And it was a miracle. This is about 12, 13 years ago. And I survived. It was a miracle. When I came back, I saw my wife's face. When I was dying, when I was in that moment, I let go because it's a long story, and I'll give you my book. You can read about it. But when I was just let go of all my energy, I had nothing left in me. I was trying to survive. I was stuck out in these huge waves. And finally, when I let go, I didn't see God. I just saw my wife, her face, and she says, "I'm going to kill you, motherfucker, after you die. You left me out here, you stupid. I'm going to come after you in death, and I'm going to kill you again," right? And after that, I came back, and I went, all right. I wasn't able to humble myself, so the world humbled me. Humble yourself, so the universe doesn't have to. You got it? Okay? My Kung Fu master told me, Satyen, it's always better to be humble all the time than to be humiliated all at once. Okay. All right. Any other shares, questions, expressions about anything I've shared so far? Young man?
Identity is the only one I wrote down.
Which one?
Identity.
Identity.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Everyone here is an entrepreneur. Doesn't matter what phase of life you're going through. I think at some point, you're going to have an identity crisis of some sort. Everybody's got an ego. It's just figuring out, who you are and where you belong. But I like the 5 F's. I think that's everything in life, especially family.
Exactly. Yes.
Do you mind if I share an exercise I've done?
Please.
With this? Instead of asking ourselves who we are, because we answer husband, CEO, farmer, whatever that might be. I ask myself, individual.
Yes.
He wants to be of service. He wants to help others. What is that for you? And that takes the place of the who. That takes
Absolutely. And we might even do this exercise, time permitting, a little later. Okay? All right. I want you to pick now. We're going to do a little process. I want you to pick which one of these 6 concerns you the most. Identity, which one you're worried about the most, the one you got most tension with. Okay? And just write it down. I'll review these. Okay? I'll review these. Anticlimax, identity, family fracture. What's the new story you're going to create? Your ability to receive and to be in joy, and the chaos of the influx. Pick which one causes the most tension, concern, or anything. Everyone got it? Okay. I'm going to take you through an inner process, and it's going to reveal the meaning of this at an inner level. And it's going to start releasing the tension around that and bringing you into wisdom, bringing you into your own wisdom. You ready for it? Okay. All right. Close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths. Keep your spine open, your posture good, be present. And I want you to feel whatever tension, contraction, nervousness, or concern you have around that problem, that challenge. And magnify it, dramatize it, make it strong. Let me know when you feel it. Give me a little head nod. Okay, and exaggerate it, dramatize it. And where do you feel this energy most in your body? Just put your hand around there. Very good. And if you're to use your imagination to give it a shape, just say that into the space. Circle, square, blob, whatever. Just whisper it in the space if you'll give it a shape. That energy, that fear, that contraction. How big is it? Just whisper it. What color is it? How old is this? And I want you to speak to this fear or this concern, this energy, as a part of you, as an aspect of you. And I want you to say, aspect, I know you wish me well because you're a part of me. What goal do you have for me with this manifestation? What do you wish for me to realize, to achieve, to attain? And raise your hand when you get an answer from within. Just give a little wave. What goal do you have for me? What do you want me to realize, to achieve, to attain? Excellent. Whatever that answer is within, I want you to join your aspect as a team in your mind and create that goal as fully realized. See it fully realized, fully achieved. And celebrate this. And turn to your aspect again and say, now that we've achieved that goal, is there anything even higher, even more important, even more spiritual? And if there is, maybe just jot it down on your paper or just be aware of it. And now join your aspect as a team and create this next higher goal in your imagination. What its goal is. See it, fulfill it, realize it. And turn to your aspect again. And say, is there any goal even higher, even more important, even more spiritual, more valuable? And wait for the answer. Whatever that answer is, join your aspect as a team inside your imagination and create that next higher goal as realized, attained. Realize and attain. How many of you are feeling more peace now? More attunement? Excellent. Ask your aspect one more time. Now that we've achieved this goal, is there anything even higher? More important, more valuable, more spiritual? And whatever that answer is from within, join your aspect and create that goal as realized. And celebrate this at a soul level of being and expand infinitely in all directions. Infinitely up, down, to the sides, and take on this new state of being. What would you call the state of being you're in? Just whisper it into the space. Know that that's the center of who you are. And knowing that this is who you are at your core, at your deeper core, how does that affect the original fear or concern? How many realize it's not as powerful now? Right? You've moved beyond it. Beautiful. I want you to honor yourself. Put your hands on your heart. Honor yourself for this deeper part of you. And make a commitment that you're going to steward your success in a way that's aligned with your heart, your soul, your highest values, and your highest virtues. And make that your honorable self-declaration, as well as your humble reception to that. When you're ready, take 3 deep breaths in and out. You can open your eyes. Well done. How many felt them going up this ladder and became more clear, more spacious, more peaceful? For those facing the invisible aftermath of success, when the exit is done, the titles vanish and you're left with the questions no deal she can answer. Who am I now? Why do I feel empty? Why is my family fracturing? Why can't I fully receive the life I work for? If you're facing these challenges, I'm here. And this is a moment, a mirror, a game changer. I'm offering a private Legacy Catalyst session. This is for all of you. It's complimentary. It's my offer and my opportunity to really take what I've learned and serve you directly. That's my QR code, goes direct to my WhatsApp. So you can reach me on WhatsApp. My number's there as well. So I want you to bring your biggest personal challenge you've got or professional that you've got right now. And the bigger it is, the bigger the issue, the better. Because we're going to deal with it. The session is confidential. It's soul piercing. It's going to crack the code on what's holding you back from living, leading, and loving at your highest. So my email is here. And that's my WhatsApp. And you can also QR code it. So this is a Legacy Catalyst session. It's to catalyze all the shifts that you're going through and make sure you're aligned in the most powerful way for what's next. So those of you who are inspired by that and you'd like to have that, please know that's my offer to you. Reach out. I'll be around. You can take a snapshot, and I'm happy to chat with you more. I want to thank you so much for allowing us to set the stage of the energy and the wealth that's going to come into your life and the great successes that you're going to have now and continuing in your life. So thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you.